Collegiate iRacing League for the Formula College Series at Montreal, the Montreal Grand Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. Formula C is back tonight, and it's going to be a good one. This is the second race at Montreal of the weekend. First race was Cup, and it was action-packed. It was exciting. It was everything you want in a college iRacing series race. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that tonight with these super formula cars taking on the tough, almost street circuit-like qualities here tonight at Montreal. We got a great race going for you. It's going to start up here shortly. Qualifying has just finished, and we're getting ready to set the grid for tonight. I am Sky Shrek, and I will be joined momentarily by Edward Sanchez, and we're here for a great night of racing in the CIL. As I said, qualifying is just now wrapping up. We're going to get these times on the board here for you shortly, and then we will jump straight into the race. Looking at our track for tonight, Montreal, current F1 track, 14 turns, 3 sectors, a lot of long straightaways and a lot of really tricky chicanes here. You can pass in most every place on the track, but it's not a great idea in most of those places, which is going to make this really exciting. Projected top speed of about 184 miles an hour. It's pretty flat, not a lot of elevation change. 2.7 miles or 4.36 kilometers in Canada, and it opened in October 1978. It's going to be a great race for the Formula College Series tonight. Here as we get this. We got our drivers for tonight. Most of them taking a quick little water break here before we start qualifying, but we got our Muhammad Alif there, bottom center. We got Ben Fiore in the bottom right, getting ready for this race. Cale Davidson, bottom left. Everybody making their final adjustments here before green flag drops in just a couple minutes for this series. And it's going to be a really, really exciting one for y'all tonight as we watch our drivers get ready for this showdown here at Montreal. I mean, with this Cup race, we saw a lot of chaos. It was definitely the most chaotic CIL Cup race that we've had over the last really couple seasons now. A lot of the Cup races at the road courses have been pretty clean, but we saw about 7 or 8 different incidents last night, or Monday night in the Cup Series. We saw traffic court going on after that. It was mayhem. So I'm looking to see the same thing here tonight from these Formula College cars. They're a bit more designed for this type of tight, twisty racetrack, but I don't think that's going to cut down on the action at all. Like I said, it's a very thin track. There's not a lot of place to go here, especially if you go off. It's very street circuity in its qualities, which is something that's going to make it really conducive to some fun racing tonight. As we're going to get this grid ready for you, qualifying just wrapped up as we went live, and that's going to get our starting grid ready for tonight. Rolling off on pole, as he has so many times in the series, our Muhammad Alif from Ball State University, followed closely by his teammate Lucas Moody, also of Ball State. Clint Halterman from UNC Charlotte rolls off third, and Cohen Evans from Indiana, Purdue, Indianapolis rolls off fourth. Bradley Skinker of Ball State is fifth, and Jake Cummings of Wingate University will take sixth. Hunter Hadesty of Clemson will take seventh tonight, and Cale Davidson is going to roll off in that 8th position on the 4th row. Athena LeClaire from St. Clair will come off 9th alongside Aiken Lamar of the Howard Community College. Nicholas Daly from UTA rolls off 11th, and Robert Kiziel from Florida International is 12th. Alexander Diamond of Drexel starts on the 7th row alongside St. Clair's Adrian Tubakovic, and Tyler Klingensmith rolls off 15th for Robert Morris, right next to PCT's Austin DeLong. And at the back of the field tonight, it's Lenore Ryan University's Zach Lindler alongside Jason Wallet, also of Drexel. St. Clair College's Alan Hong starts alongside Mark Turek of Pentagon Technology. Nicholas Patnell, Robert Morris, Timothy Wilson, and Andrew Burrow, as we are going here tonight for the CIL at Montreal. Our Muhammad Ali with a great jump there, followed closely by his teammate Lucas Moody. Good flag going on there.
to join you, Sky. Sky, welcome from the College Prototype Series. Love to have you here for the Formula race. And I mean, how's it going? What did I miss for this first lap? I mean, tell me.
Pretty abrupt start. We got Clint Halterman here. He's looking on Cale Davidson. Dropped a lot of spots. We saw him start third, and he fell all the way back to seventh on the start. Kind of an opposite of Jake Cummings there from Wingate, who started back third, fourth row, moved his way all the way up to third on that start. Really good start for Cummings. Really bad start for Halterman early in this race. Also saw Nicholas Daly's got a lot of positions on the start. Haydesty's gone backwards a bit. A lot of movers and shakers here pretty early on in this race.
Yeah, and as we see, Cohen Evans is running on the inside right here on the right side as they go into turn 14 and 15. He's going to be hobbling over the curbs but makes a beautiful pass just to get started here in the race with less than 3 laps in. I mean, yeah, I was just going to say, what happened to Clint Halterman? I didn't able to see the grid earlier. I was watching on my phone and I saw that, you know, not a really great start for him, but a really great start for Jake Cummings for Wingate University. I mean, it is definitely a strong race. And not only that, Cohen Evans from IUPUI, it's like, this isn't the top 5 that you really see, especially from you know, a general trend in this series. So to see Cohen Evans and Jake Cummings up there battling in 3rd and 4th, well, really, contending for the final position for the podium here for this race, it is something to be looking at for the rest of this race. But another you know, another thing not surprising is Alif and Moody 1 and 2. So it looks like Ball State University still got 1 and 2 locked down, but looks like Athena Leclerc is trying to look there on the inside and is gonna make that pass right now on Nicholas Daly. As right now they're heading down through the into the hairpin right there. As let's see, who was that? That was Alexander Diamond. Yeah, that was Alexander Diamond who got heavy into the braking zone. And that's one thing to note for the audience is this is a very fast yet has a lot of heavy braking zones, so it's going to be really taking care of those rear tires and not going off the grass because it's going to be really easy. As right now, we just saw Cohen Evans looks like he just dropped the podium position. It looks like Jake Cummings for Wingate University actually just took over here going into turns 1, and he is in 3rd place right now. A strong, really strong race for Wingate University.
Cohen Evans started up there in that 2nd row. He had a really good start. Holding on to that, or a really good qualifying. I mean, he's held on to that pretty well. I mean, you saw a bunch of cars get loose in that pack there. Daly almost lost it. Haydesty had a bit of an issue. Diamond had a bit of an issue. A lot of cars slipping and sliding early in this race, trying to find grip on these tires to get these cars really going the way they want. Again, yeah, like you said, it's a very fast track, but it's also a track with a lot of really tight corners and a lot of braking zones. There's really almost no fast or medium speed corners here. Every corner is pretty slow, which makes it really interesting when you're on cold tires here because it really likes to slip around on you. As you see Haydesty swerving in the background there to get those tires heated up, trying to make a move on Athena Leclerc.
Yeah, what a save there. As right now we're on board with Cale Davidson just trying to trail behind Bradley Skinker. I mean, you and I both know how tough this track is when we ran the Cup last Monday. It is it's a track that does not hold back, and it's one thing worth noting is the push to overtake. It is one thing to note right now, Cale Davidson does not have the push to overtake on. Right now he's just using the train up ahead to really just use that track. But for y'all folks to not know, who don't know, the push to overtake is kind of like the DRS version of Formula 1, in which they have 200 seconds for a little bit of extra horsepower, especially for straight line speed. As you're trying to overtake somebody into a heavy braking zone, it is a perfect opportunity to utilize push to overtake. But as I said, it is a finite resource. It is only 200 seconds these drivers get to utilize that, and it's not like they can use it, turn it on and turn it off, and then use it again in the next corner. It's recharge. It has to recharge for a couple of turns. So it is going to be a very strategic way to use push to overtake. And as you see, this is a track that kind of it creates a train effect. So as we see, the battle for 4th here, or sorry, for 3rd, so it's Jake Cummings, and then it's Cohen Evans, Clint Halterman, Bradley Skinker. It's kind of like a train where these fellas, while the cars up ahead right now, they are currently using their overtake, as you see the blinking red light. It is the fact that they are trying to kind of keep up with speed Oh, right now they are not using overtake right now. We're actually recharging. Sorry about that. It's the idea that it's creating such a traffic in which the one leading creates the pace, as you see right there. It's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh place. So that is a 5-car train right there, all following behind Jake Cummings. So Jake Cummings really leading this pack. And it's all about just staying up front, in front of the next person, in front of the next person, in front of the next person. So right now, as we see, Hunter Hasti is currently trying to hunt down his 15th
Yeah.
place, as right now on the inside, he takes over for turns 2 and 3. A beautiful pass by Hunter.
Yeah, he had an issue. I mean, we saw him up in the top 10. He has fallen all the way back to 16th. He had some kind of issue going through, I believe, turns 5 and 6 a couple laps ago. That sent him all the way to the back of the field, which is going to be a pretty big hole to climb out of in the sprint race format that we got here in the CIL.
And want to talk about the how we're going to invert the grid?
Yeah, we're going to invert the grid. So after this race, first couple cars in the field, I believe first 10 cars in the field, going to get swapped around, which is going to make it a really interesting show here for the second half, as you're going to get to watch our Muhammad Ali try to charge his way through the field to win.
Whereas right now we got Clint Halterman on the inside.
Yeah, here's Clint Halterman. Not quite going to get there. He will get Cohen Evans, but he doesn't get Jake Cummings as well.
Yeah, what a beautiful defense there by Jake Cummings, as he went a little bit wide there into turns 14 and 15. But as we see Clint Halterman on the charge, he really said that his start was not the best, but he's going to make up for it right now, as Cohen Evans is also under pressure here, as looks like Bradley Skinker is going to pass him on the outside there, as Cohen Evans falls back into 6th place. So right now, Cohen Evans, look, I mean, we did see earlier, he was locking up the tires in the heavy braking zone in the hairpin for turns 13, I believe. And so as we see, he's slowly kind of falling back, and looks like Bradley Skinker as well falling back. So it looks like Jake Cummings and Clint Halterman are kind of pulling away from this field.
Yeah, Cohen Evans right there, who's dropped all the way back. Started 4th, got up to 3rd for a little, but is kind of falling back through the field, being swallowed up by Halterman and some of these Ball State University cars. He's falling back to 6th. He's got Cale Davidson right on his bumper as well, who's going to try and get around him. Try to put 4 Ball State cars in the top 6 early on in this race. They finished top 3, I believe, in all of the sprint races last week. But right now, Jake Cummings is interrupting in that 3rd spot, and they've got Halterman in 4th as well, kind of breaking up this Ball State train that we've seen in so many of the races so far this season.
Yeah, it looks like Ball State podcast says right now we just see Alexander Diamond making the pass here for 9th place as they pass Robert Kessel Jr. Oh, and he gets a little bit bumped there. He got off, and he looks like Kessel Jr. Pushed him off though. Ooh, I don't know. Unless we get another replay with a different version, but looks like he is kind of falling off pace as Nicholas Daly is passing through, and if hopefully, yes, looks like we're gonna get a replay from the production right here as we get another replay here. It looks like Alexander. Yeah, it looked like he took too much of the inside, and I think maybe he went over the curb. We'll see here.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Looks like a little bit of contact with Kizio there. Diamond reacting to that contact, just pushing himself through the chicane to avoid a bigger accident than that could have been.
Yeah, it looks like Kizio didn't either brake enough, like he didn't turn too much to give him space on the inside, because they were still side by side going to the next corner for turn 15.
Yeah, we've got a problem for Clint Halterman here. He was up there in 4th. He's fallen all the way back to 7th right now behind Cale Davidson.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with him.
Oh, we got a car around in the background as well. That, I believe, is Kizio, Robert Kizio, around going through the hairpin. And now he's going to get swallowed up by a couple cars. Let's see what happened to him there.
Yeah, looks like maybe that contact affected a car a little bit, you think?
Maybe. Down through the straightaway. Oh, gets on the grass. Saved it and sent it around again. So it looked like he got on the grass, maybe sketched himself out a little, got it back together, but maybe he had those nerves going and just looped it around on exit too. Here's the Halterman incident. As Halterman's falling even further down the grid, he's to 11th now.
Yeah, something is really off.
We've got 2 accidents for Clint Halterman. Here is the first one. Ooh! Locks it up there, trying to avoid hitting the bumper of Jake Cummings from Wingate. And here's the other incident for Clint Halterman. this one just recently going into turn 1 down here, and let's see, through turn 1,
Okay.
and oh, spins it on the exit too.
Ah.
And he
Oh,
has
that's a nice
fallen
view
all
of
the
the
way
trees.
from 4th back to 13th.
Yeah, it looks like just the small mistakes is just adding upon. And one thing we have to literally note with these drivers is that they're driving on the edge, but they know that points matter. And as we got a spin right there, looks like it's Alexander Diamond. So it looks like Alexander Diamond is going to be out of the points paying position. And right now, that actually moves up Jason Wallet up into 10th place right now. So it is something to note. Oh, as right now, Clint Halterman have the overtake here. He's going to look at the left side here of Robert Kissel Jr. It looks like he's going to try and make the pass, but he won't. And it looks like deja vu, right, Sky? Didn't we see these two just hand it toe-to-toe into turn 14 and 15?
We saw Kiziel go side by side with, I believe that was Diamond through there a couple laps ago. Now we got Kiziel side by side with Halterman going down through there. As Halterman up to 12th now with the pass on Hadesty. He's trying to make his way back through the field after that early accident. And now we've got pressure from Cohen Evans of IUPUI here on Bradley Skinker from Ball State University. A bit of an Indiana battle here. 5 of the top 6 cars really from Indiana. And that's going to give us a good battle right here.
Yeah, and we thought that Cohen Evans was out of this race. We thought he was falling back. He was losing. Oh, never mind. Ooh, that was a good save, but damn commentary, Chris. Listen, he is doing great. I'm not saying anything else. All right, we're gonna move over to Clint Halterman right now. As it looks like he is on the tail behind Kissel Jr. and Jason Wallet. As right now the battle for 10th is getting on right now. So it looks like Jason Wallet is right there at the cusp to getting 10th place. But not if Robert has anything to say for us. Right now, Clint Halterman just trying to stay on us. Right now, we see on his steering wheel, we see that purple light. That means he's currently recharging for the overtake. And it looks like Robert on the inside here, passing Jason, and looks like he's gonna be able to complete the pass as they head into the braking zone into 14 and 15, and he makes the pass, makes it look easy. As right now, Clint Halterman is gonna be hunting down Jason Waller here into turn 1, but looks like. Now we're gonna speak of hunting. Now it looks like Cale Davidson is catching up here to Cohen Evans and Bradley Skinker. As right now the battle for 4th, it's just getting on. And the person who is really enjoying this is right there in 3rd place. Up ahead, Jake Cummings is a little bit into the wall.
Bad news for Cohen Evans. And that's going to give Cale Davidson the spot here heading down into this corner. He'll take 5th away. And now we've got 4 Ball State cars in the top 5. They are coming to the front as they always do. And it's now going to be Jake Cummings, the lone Wingate soldier in between that train of Ball State cars in the top 5.
Come on, Jake Cummings, my boy, you got this. All you have to do is focus on those tires. And here's the thing that we have to note is that as we saw Bradley Skinker and Cale Davidson just run up the field, that is just race pace, and it's just incredible for them to just come out of nowhere and be going through the field. But one thing to know is that Jake Cummings, I've been watching his lap times actually. He was been slowing a little bit down there. But one thing to note is that he was incredibly joyful to look in the back of his mirror and look at them fighting it out for 4th place. So right now, with nearly 14 laps to go, so we're nearly at the halfway point, with a 2-second gap against Bradley Skinker, can Jake Cummings do the impossible and stop the 1, 2, 3, 4 Ball State podcast? We'll see if he has here. What do you think?
I think he might do it. I mean, he's running some pretty good laps right now. You saw Halterman make a pass on Wallet there for 11th, try and get himself back in position. We got a car crash. That is Nick Daly of UTA, who has had to tow back to the pits with a big accident there for that car. And
yeah,
we also saw
right rear.
Here's a replay of that. We also saw a almost near disaster on the timesheet, but I'll get to that later. Here's Nicholas Daly through the first part to the second part. Loses it on exit of the chicane, and he goes straight into the wall, knocks out the suspension, and that's big damage for him. I wanted to point out, we saw Alan Hong, or we didn't see it, on the timesheet, I saw Alan Hong spin out while getting lapped by R. Muhammad Alif. You see he's missing the entire front bumper there. Alif had to slow up a little bit, which is, not ideal at this stage of the race. We'll try and get a replay of how he's missing that front bumper.
I mean, yeah, Alif did have to slow down.
This was not far in front of R. Muhammad Alif, I don't believe. This is a separate incident from Alan Hong. There he goes, very wide there. We're gonna Can't find a replay of what happened to Alan Hong in 5 and 6, though. But yeah, something happened that knocked the entire front wing off that car. That happened right in front of our leader, Muhammad Alif. As we're back on board with Cale Davidson as he tries to battle with his teammate, Bradley Skinker.
And one thing to note is that, especially with Alan Hong's damage, is that the idea is without no front wing, no downforce, the car is a brick. Can't even turn or steer that thing. You just have to pray that it can even just at least make a corner. So it's a really big detriment for Alan Hong's race right now, as Cale Davidson looks like he is just barely trying to get toward Bradley Skinker, and look who's in front is Jake Cummings, just 2 seconds away. So I think it's definitely interesting to see team orders. What is it? Where these two bossy teammates, they are currently trying to fight for 4th right now, but I wonder, is it really useful for them? Like, do you think it's better if they just go on the radio and say, hey, we're gonna hunt down Jake Cummings, so let's just work together? Because it looks like it's Bradley Skinker taking defensive lines on here.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they do here. I mean, typically these Ball State cars do like to work together. They try to get the finish for the school. I mean, that's why they're so dominant in these school standings here. They've got, in the school standings, twice the amount of points of 2nd place Indiana, Purdue, Indianapolis, and they've won 11 of the 12 races this year. 10 of those from Muhammad Alif. So their dominance has continued, and right now you're watching Cale Davidson continue to try and hound Bradley Skinker. But for right now, Skinker's pulling away.
As we're going to be on board here with the leader, Muhammad Alif. As I said before, who needs Verstappen when we have Alif? And definitely the numbers do not lie, as yes, the points for the Ball State University is crazy. All right, so right now we are going to take a lap here with Alif, as we're going to take turns 1 and 2, well, 2 and 3 here actually. As we see, as he is kind of overstaying the cars a little bit, as you can hear the rear is kind of sliding a little bit down through turns 4 and 5. The S's here, got to get close to the wall to optimize that, you know, exit speed, and really a heavy braking zone here, going down to 2nd gear, through the S's once again, 6 and 7, down another straight, which is technically another DRS, as here is a quick, I would say a low speed corner.
They're all low speed corners.
8 and 7. Yeah.
8 and 9 down here.
I would say
a little loose on the exit there.
A little loose on the exit.
Holds it back up, heading down towards the hairpin turn 10. All right, here we see our Muhammad Alif coming down through the hairpin turn 10, right on the curbing through there. A bit of a shallow exit, so we can come back and hit right on the curb through that little bit where the grass juts in there. Very unique feature of this racetrack. Right on the wall through the kink down the straightaway. Technically turn 12, but I don't believe in that. Down to the chicane. Turns 13 and 14 here. He's getting close to that lap car of Zachary Lindler right up there in his front, or right out the front of that car. And that's a lap here around Montreal with our Muhammad Alif, our leader, as we're back on board with Cale Davidson, 5th place.
Yeah, right now, once again, it's just battling for 4th, but look in front. At least 2.5 seconds Jake Cummings seems to have here. So it looks like, I don't know. Looks like team orders. Cale Davidson is going to take 4th place. Bradley Skinker is going to let him by. So looks like the team orders is that, all right, Cale, go get him. Now he's got 10 laps left. Do you think he has it to get past? A little bit going wide there out of turn 3. But what do you think? What is it looking like from your perspective? Can he get back up to Jake Cummings?
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think we've seen Cale Davidson get better finishes over this series so far than Bradley Skinker. But, I mean, if Skinker's faster at this track, I think it's going to be really interesting, because I think they are kind of similar on speed. Skinker was definitely holding his own over Davidson and didn't feel like he was slowing him up too much. But clearly they think right now Davidson's got the better shot to get up there and get Jake Cummings. And I think they maybe decided Skinker just wasn't doing it. He wasn't gaining as much time, so now it's going to be Davidson's chance to see if he can do that instead.
Yeah, and we will definitely see if they switch position, if Cale Davidson can't get up to Jake Cummings. So we'll see how the team order is going to play out. As right now, we're watching Cohen Evans sandwiched in between 7th and 8th with Aiken Lamar and Robert Kiesel Jr. And looks like it is just a train ride down here through turn 10 out into 11. And it looks like Cohen Evans is just
Cale Davidson around.
Looks like Cohen Evans is, sorry, not Cale Davidson, sorry. Cohen Evans is actually going to be using the overtake right now. And we'll see how close can he get to turn 13 as he looks like he's going to look at the inside here. Is he going to lunge it in? Oh, he thought twice about it. He's going to let him survive another few corners out of turn 14 here. We got 8 laps to go here at round 8, Montreal.
Kizio is going to try and get alongside. He's not going to do it. We saw, while we were watching that, Cale Davidson had a spin. He lost control in the final chicane, coming out of turn 14 there and went around right in front of his teammate, Bradley Skinker. Let's get a replay on that. Heading down the straightaway here, Cale Davidson. Here he goes. He's got Skinker behind him, trying to recharge that overtake. Oh, right over the curb, and he loops it around. Oh, and he's into the wall. Backs it into the fence. That's going to be damage to the rear wing of that car, and it's also going to put him under threat from 6th place, Athena Leclerc from St. Clair College.
Yeah, it looks like Leclerc has a chance to get top 5 as, yeah, Cale Davidson hit the, looked like the left rear into the wall. But I don't know, at least the wing's still there somehow. And with 8 laps left, I mean, we can only tell how long does he have to really fend off Athena Leclerc. As right now, Clint Halterman moved up, or right now it is 9th place. As Cohen Evans looks like he fell back into 10th place and is actually under threat right now of Jason Wallace. So Jason Wallace nearly less than 2 seconds behind. So something did happen to Cohen Evans, and it looks like Jason Wallace is trying to capitalize to get into the points position.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Cohen Evans had a little bit of an issue there, dropping back to 10th. As here we see Clint Halterman making a move on Kizio for 8th. Side by side through turn 2, and he's going to get the spot coming out of turn 2. Big move for Clint Halterman as they go around the lap car of Nicholas Patinella there. I want to point out, Athena Leclerc has just made the move on Cale Davidson for 5th place. This will be a huge points day for her. She's only got 6 points in the overall Formula C standings this year. If she finishes 5th, that's going to add 10 to her points total. That's going to more than double her place in the point standings here.
Yeah, it is a really great drive for her today, so it is going to be really, really important that the next 6 laps, St. Clair College, if she can deliver here and be safe here, as Clint Halterman looks like he's being passed once again by Robert Kissel Jr. So it looks like these two are fighting it out, and they're not giving it up. So the battle for 8th is just getting on as, oh, a little bit wobbly. Oh, you cannot do that, fellas. You can't just block like that. As Clint Halterman using the overtake. They're both using the overtake as they're side by side out of 12 and 12. Who's going to get to turn 13 first? Still side by side using the overtake. I mean, it's going to be one way or another. Oh, as their heavy braking zone as looks like, and then they get spun.
Oh, he's in the air.
Into the champion wall. Looks like Clint Halterman head first, right front tire's done, and it looks like Kissel Jr. is beached on the bump, and looks like both of them are out. I mean, I foresaw this a turn ago. They were just going at it and not giving up the space, and this is what happens when you don't.
We're going to get a replay of that accident there between Kizio and Halterman. They were side by side down the straight, both of them on the overtake, trying to make something happen into here. And, oh, I think Kizio might have just came in a little too far, didn't give Halterman the space he needed to make that corner, and that's going to result with both of them in the wall there. Let's check out the onboard camera for Clint Halterman of this accident. Kizio's right off to his right there down the straightaway. Goes into the chicane, they get to the first bit, and ooh, yeah, Kizio just cuts him off, doesn't give him enough space, ramps the left rear of Kizio, and they both go flying into the wall down there at the exit of turn 14.
You know what, Sky? Kizio did the same exact thing with Alexander Diamond. If you remember that same corner, right? He was on the inside, didn't give much room, and cut him right at the end of the corner, did not give him room, and look at that. Same song, same verse, but this time took them out. So something to really look back at, because it's definitely they didn't last long enough pulling that same move. So it sucks for Clint Halterman to be taken out there. Had a strong race, had a pretty good recovery, but right now this opens up space for more points for people, right? So it looks like Aiken Lamar in 7th place moves up for Howard Community College. Cohen Evans in 8th. Jason Wallet up into 9th. And finally, Hunter has to, it looks like he's going to move up to 10 for Clemson University for top 10. But Jason Wallet not going to give up yet. He says ninth place is not enough as he's going to be chasing down Cohen Evans. As right now it looks like Cohen Evans is just struggling with those retires. We have 5 laps to go. How long can he go? As right now down into turn 8, another heavy braking zone here. It looks like Jason Wallet is going to take it easy here out to 8 and 9. And it looks like he's just going to be just trailing behind. And one can wonder, turn 10 and 11, can he perfect this corner here and have the move on him in turn 13? We will see here in a few moments. Oh, a little bit wide for Jason Wally. It looks like Cale Davidson right behind Nathan Lamar. And it looks like Cale Davidson just keep dropping. Or, yeah, he just keeps dropping off. I mean, he was in 5th. Now he's in 7th. And soon enough, Cohen Evans is going to probably pass him and Jason Wallet.
That rear wing damage he got, he spun into the wall 14, got some pretty good damage to the rear end of that car, and that's very clearly hurting his speed around this racetrack. I mean, he was in 4th with his teammate Bradley Skinker. We've seen him fall all the way back into 7th, and in his absence, Jake Cummings has held strong in 3rd to interrupt that train of Ball State cars for what feels like the first time in a while. Really good run for Jake Cummings from Wingate. And I believe Adrian Tubakovic has just gone around from 12th there. Right in front of a couple cars. The area
right in front of the leader, actually.
Yeah, Adrian Tubakovic around. We're gonna get a replay of how he spun out here. He was in that kind of pack. He was right in front of a Klingensmith, Diamond, and Burl, and too much over the curb, spins it out into that inside wall there through turn 14.
The car's rolling. Keep it going. As long as she got RPMs, I think it's fine. So. It's in 14th right now, but it looks like Andrew Burrow trying to fight against
another car.
Timothy Wilms.
Tim Wilms.
It's Tim Wilms, as he's gonna try and get off the track there to let them pass by. Lucas looks like Adrian Tubakovic is gonna go by in 14th. As we're gonna get a replay from the production here. Let's see what happens here. As we're through this technical areas here in the second sector, down into turn 6 and 7. Oh, just a little bit of too much gas. I mean, what we were talking about, yeah, he did save it. Remember what I said, Sky, earlier? It's those rear tires. The more you spin them, the more they want to spin around.
Yeah, one thing leads to another. That's how you end up like Clint Halterman, where you're spinning out twice in approximately 1 lap. It's a very, very tricky circuit here. Is Timothy Wilms. You're watching him right in front of some of our leaders. I think Moody and Cummings were a little bit behind him. Here's Pat Nella, also a lap down here. 17th for Robert Morris, 2 laps down for this car. Kind of out on his own here, doing his own thing. He's got Alexander Diamond a little bit in front of him, but this is one of those cars that's kind of just out here for the finish of this race right now.
Yeah, and one thing to note, yeah, right now we're going to be focusing on Lucas Moody. And actually, I was just going to talk about Lucas Moody. Right now, Jake Cummings was 6 seconds away from 2nd place. It looks like he brought it down to 4 seconds in less than 2 laps. So one could say, could there be a late charge from Wingate University to try to get 2nd place, or is that maybe just delusional? Is that probably a delusional by me, yourself? I don't know. We'll see. Right now, Lucas Moody is being kind of held up by Tim Wells here. He's gonna let him by with ease. Says, "All right, go ahead. Blue flagged. Let you by." But one thing to note here is with 3 laps to go, I mean, anything can happen. Oh, as Lucas Moody ate a lot of the curve there, went over the grass, and as I said, never say never. Commentator's curse is a damn thing. All I'm going to say is these drivers are doing good. I will not say anything else.
Andrew Burrow right here in 13th. Looking towards the bumper of Tyler Klingensmith from Robert Morris. Trying to see if he can make something happen there from that 13th position and join his teammate Hunter Hadesty, who's up there in 10th, and he is putting a threat to knock Cale Davidson all the way back to P10 up there for that 9th position. So that's going to be an interesting battle to watch. Here's Hunter Hadesty. Right on the toe there, right on the slipstream of Cale Davidson. That car is very clearly damaged. That's not on the pace. It's not where you'd want to be, and he's well over the curb as well. Both cars with a little bit of a mistake heading through that chicane, as now they're heading down to the hairpin. Hunter Hadesty continuing to try and get this move to happen. And 2 laps to go. He doesn't have a lot of time, but I think he should be able to make the pass through, or just how slow that 2 car of Cale Davidson is with that rear wing damage.
If Hunter's listening to us right now, I would tell you, save those rear tires. right now, Cale Davidson has no straight line speed, as even without overtake, just look how closer he was getting. As right now, we're on board with Andrew Burrow. Right, ooh, looks like he's gonna make a really nice exit turn here, as he's gonna be trying to get that slipstream from Tyler. Right now, as he's gonna not use overtake, which is interesting here. So he's not gonna opt for the push to overtake, but he's still on his tail. Will he make the move? He's looking on the inside right now, going to turn 13. Who's going to be late on the braking? He's got it, as Tyler said. You know what? Take it. I'm not going to wreck out like someone else here from earlier. So right now, Tyler just going to settle in the 13th. But yeah, it looks like it's final lap right now. Final lap, as the leader has taken the final lap, going to turns 3 and 4 right now. It is only a matter of time that Alif gets his win again here for the first heat.
Yep, 18 seconds, 18 and a half seconds ahead of his teammate Lucas Moody. As here's the battle for 9th, Hunter Hadesty right up the inside of Cale Davidson.
What a beautiful
heading
pass.
through turns 7 and 8, and that is going to get Hunter Hadesty 9th place and 1 extra point there for his troubles, dropping Cale Davidson all the way back to 10th, but putting Cale Davidson on pole for the second sprint race with the reverse grid. It's going to be Davidson, I believe, on pole, and then Hunter Hadesty on second. And with how strong those Ball State cars have been and how good Cale Davidson was when he wasn't damaged, that's going to be a real threat here in that second heat race.
You're exactly right. As even with overtake, oh, he took the grass a little bit, but he did not wreck out good. As right now, the leader going down through the straightaway, Muhammad Alif. I mean, not surprised. 13 and 14. Ooh, getting close with the wall. Oh man, I wonder how much overtake he has left, as he's gonna say wave to his Ball State University, and he wins the first heat of the Canadian Grand Prix for round 8 here at CIL Formula College Series. Say a congrats, as the leader has passed. And right now, in second place, his teammate, Lucas Moody, Ball State University teammate, is gonna secure second place here, and the unexpected, Jake Cummings from Wingate University is going to get third place. And to really put a stomp here, Ball State University just one away from a 1-2-3. Bradley Skinker just going down the straightaway, and he's going to bring home fourth place for Ball State University. And a really unexpected, Athena Leclerc for St. Clair U College for a best finishing position here for the CIL Formula College Series, and is her home race too. So finishing 5th, give a round of applause for Athena Leclerc for her home track best finish. Good for her. As next up, Howard Community College, Aiken Lamar, I should say, is going to get 6th place. As Jason Wallach goes a little bit wide there. He wants us to be on the tip of our toes for a 7th place for Drexel University, followed by Cohen Evans for Indiana University. He's going to get 8th. Hunter Hadesty, looks like Clemson University is going to secure 9th. And Cale Davidson surviving, just barely getting 10th place with Cale David getting in top 10. And unfortunately, Alexander Diamond just so close to getting there. It's going to finish 11th.
Did Hadesty just park it at the line to try and get 10th?
Yes, yes, he did. Looks like he actually did. Cale Davidson finished 9th. So it looks like our provisional poll is
We'll
gonna
see.
be.
We'll see if the stewards do anything about that. But Hunter Hadesty did park it at the line to let Cale Davidson by, so he could start on pole for that second sprint race. So for that second race, we're gonna see Hunter Hadesty on the pole, Cale Davidson from Ball State on his outside, which is gonna make a really exciting run down to turn 1.
I mean, I gotta ask the steward, is this legal on the final lap or something? Like, Scott, you saying it with like some kind of like suspicion. Like, is this according to the rules legal on the final lap?
I am not a steward for this series, so I could not tell you.
Ooh, all right. Well, we're gonna be looking
We'll
at
get
the
an answer
channel.
here shortly.
Definitely, as yeah, right now it looks like it's the grid is. Yeah, it looks like the grid. Yeah, no. With the grid, it looks like on pole position, it looks like Hunter is gonna take it. So he hunted the pole, and he's gonna start from the pole, and it looks like Cale Davidson is gonna start second. So, any thoughts from this race? What do you think? Apart from Muhammad Alif, all right, we know that that guy is gonna be up front. But starting 10th, and we saw what happened last week. It's the second heat, and he got wrecked out. Sorry, back in the Italian Grand Prix. So going into this, do you think is this super easy for him to get away, especially that heavy braking zone into turn 1? What do you think are the chances for a Leaf to really pull away from this one?
I mean, we've seen him win, I believe that's now 11 out of the 13 races in this series this year.
Oh
But
my
I
god.
am kind of watching the driver, one of the two drivers who's stolen one away from him. That's going to be Cale Davidson in this race coming up. We saw him spin that car out from fourth. He's starting on the front row for this race after falling all the way back to ninth in the heat race. So he's going to be starting on the front row, eight whole positions ahead of his teammate. All 8 whole positions ahead of his teammate are Muhammad Alif, and we're gonna see if that's enough of a gap to let him do something in this second sprint race.
I mean, it is definitely one thing to notice, and you're exactly right. Cale Davidson was really one of the select few that was able to steal a first place win. So tonight, could it be it? Could Cale Davidson come in as a winner or as a runner-up? That is going to be the question, and it's going to be a really interesting, I guess, guiding question for tonight's heat race. And as we got confirmation, Hunter Hesse is going to be starting from the provisional pole for this reverted grid. So he stole 10th place and got first place. So Cale Davidson, I don't know how happy or angry would he be from this revelation. I mean, if you were in his position, Sky, what would you feel right now?
I'd probably be a little upset because I feel like if I'm Cale Davidson or if I'm Hunter Hadesty, it's kind of is that 1 point that you gave up in the first heat race worth the one extra starting position here in the feature? Because you're gonna be still on the same row, but you're starting on the outside of the same row that you would have been in otherwise. So it's going to be really interesting to see, does that actually work in his favor? Here we're seeing Cale Davidson in that Ball State University Esports
Oof.
Center where they've got all the fanciest equipment in that thing on the big curved monitor. Oh, I wish I had that. He's going to be taking these
Same
warm-up
here,
laps
brother.
here in practice.
I mean, you see the focus. He knows this is the chance. He's starting front row. I mean, yes, he's going to start second, but front row, he still has the opportunity to outpace the leader on the start. And you can see how laser focused he is because he knows this is his chance. And especially it being Montreal with the tight corners. I mean, if Leaf survives, I'm not saying, hey, I hope good luck for all these drivers. If he survives turn one, it's only a matter of time he gets up there, but it's going to be killing those tires because he's going to have to be driving hard, especially going into the heavy braking zones to take over these guys. So remember, I said it's going to be a train ride through all this, right? At the beginning, it was all checking up everybody. And then the thing that caused these train to kind of disrupt is people started losing grip, right? People started to lose rear tires. People started to spin. People started to hit the grass. People lost focus, and the little things add up. So as a driver, I mean, it is going to be something that is on point to really, I guess, hunker down. You did a race. Now you know what it's like out there. So, I mean, if you were driving in this next heat race, what is your, I'd say, your most priority in terms of like what you have to do to survive in this next race?
I'd probably want to get the tires up to grip pretty fast here as we're going to get the standings, the grid ready for this second heat race here. As we pull that up, we're gonna go to get to the top 10 here from that grid invert that we're gonna get here. Hunter Hadesty will be on pole. Cale Davidson rolling off on his outside. Cohen Evans brings it off third. Jason Wallet fourth. Aiken Lamar fifth. Athena Leclerc from St. Clair sixth. Bradley Skinker from Ball State seventh. Jake Cummings eighth. And our top two from the last race, Lucas Moody and R. Muhammad Alif, are going to roll off ninth and 10th for this race, respectively, as
And
we
it
get
looks
ready
like,
for the second sprint race.
oh, they got the neutral ready. They got the revs ready. RPMs are high and the stakes are high for our final race here, round 8 at the Canadian Grand Prix. As right now, the lights are on. First gear is ready, looks like. And lights away, and here we go for heat 2 of round 8. As
Crashing at
right
the
now,
back.
we got a little bit of cars on the grass, but it looks like they kept it, and they
I
say
think
that Cale
that's
Davidson.
Kizio.
Yeah, it looks like Kizio's there, but it looks like Cale Davidson is gonna take first place. Cohen Evans in second. Hunter Hesse looks like he's gonna fall back into third. It looks like a leaf got a little bit bumped there into the grass. We'll see later, but right now, Cale Davidson is in first. using that overtake right now, trying to pull away from the train, trying not to give them that slipstream. So right now, if I was Gil Davidson, pull away now. Do not let them get on your slipstreamers right now. Hunter trailing behind and fell back 2 positions in first. Cohen Evans moving up to second. And Jason Wallet staying there, but looks like Bradley Skinker from 7th is going to move up to 5th. Athena Leclerc also standing there, didn't lose or gain there. Aiken Lamar looks like he fell back into 7th. And Muhammad Ali in 8th place. The time is, the clock is ticking, I should say.
Lucas Moody's just crashed out. Lucas Moody's out of the race.
Oh, no.
Lucas Moody's out of the race, and Jake Cummings is way off the pace. They both crashed coming into those opening corners. Lucas Moody second in the first sprint race, Jake Cummings third, and they are both out almost immediately in the second heat. I'm going to get these replays once this action cools down here in this battle.
We got
right now we're looking at Athena Leclerc who's trying to chase down Bradley Skinker. We saw a lot of chaos there at the start of that race. Klingensmith is also having some problems further back there. So Cummings is all the way back to 19th. Lucas Moody got in an accident with Adrian Tubakovic and might end up out of the race after that. It is chaos right now on this racetrack, but our Muhammad Alif seems to have survived it pretty well, and he's pulling his way back through the field already.
Yeah, and it looks like Klingensmith, he got in a little bit of a scuffle there. It looks like I saw in the hairpin there was two cars that spun each other out kind of in a way. So there must have been some intent there in the hairpin. So it'll be interesting to find out what happens later. But right now, Alif just took another overtake and is up into 6th, but he is, I'm telling you right now, damn tires, he's cooking them right now. He is trying his hardest to get through and weave through this field because all this dirty air is not helping him out. As right now, Athena Leclerc trailing behind Bradley Skinker. It looks like Ball State University, not 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're currently 1, 4th, and 6th with Cohen Evans and Hassie in the 2 and 3, Leclerc in 5th. And so right now,
all right, we got a replay coming here of this crash involving Lucas Moody on lap 1. This is through turns 3 and 4. Coming down here, he's already kind of got swallowed up by the pack. Oh my goodness! Adrian Tubakovic of St. Clair University.
I need another replay.
I am not entirely sure how that has happened.
Fellas, I don't know, but I sense a little bit of a vacation.
Diamond. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. I mean, he might have just...
I mean, we need another...
Maybe the brakes failed? I'm not entirely sure how that ended up happening here. We're going to go on board with Adrian Tubakovic, who caused that incident.
I hope it's not what I think it is.
Oh my goodness. I think he got a little too late on the brakes, panicked, tried to just get it away from anyone, and ended up right in the back of Lucas Moody. A lot of attrition early in this race. Timothy Wilms is out, Lucas Moody is out, Tubakovic is out, Mark Turek is out, and Austin DeLong also all out of the race from accidents on lap 1.
I mean, it is just heating up. I mean, yes, as you saw, Adrian Tubakovic is trying to, Nicholas Daly just got a little bit bumped off by Alexander Diamond. Looks like Alexander Diamond learning from what he learned from people before. So it looks like he's going to get passed by Aiken Lamar, and Nicholas Daly from University of Texas is not going to be happy as he's going to fall back in 10th. Oh, but it looks like that car is...
He's juniors in the pits. I think he got in a crash. We saw him get in a crash on the start line, and that's probably residual damage from that. Not sure if he got in another one, but we definitely saw him get in a crash on the start. Here's Andrew Burrell making a move for 10th on Nick Daly of UTA, and he's got Clint Halterman right behind him, trying to charge back up to this field as well. Now here's Clint Halterman up the inside of Nicholas Daly right there. He'll get 11th away from him, so Nicholas Daly dropping through the field here in the early going. And 10-second time penalty's just been given to our Muhammad Alif for a collision, turn 1, lap 1, and we're going to get a replay of that. We're going to find a replay of that accident, but that is a huge time penalty for our Muhammad Alif. Let's check the replay of that. This is turn 1, lap 1 here. Or this is maybe a little later. We'll see when this happens for our Muhammad Alif.
As we saw, he nearly got in
Oh,
front of
that's
Bradley
not there.
Skinker.
That's his teammate with Lucas Moody. We had another incident a couple corners before that.
Oh.
Here we go. Our Muhammad Alif.
Oh, he
There's
was
the
the one that went
Kizio
in the
accident
grass.
back there, further back. What did he do here? Let's find out.
Oh,
Oh!
he just bumped his way in. He
That
said,
is a
I
bin.
mean, he put his arms up. He said, I gotta get through this. And unfortunately, it's that impatience. Maybe I would say, I would say it's a little bit of impatience there that he put it 3 wide there and he did not give him room.
I
But
think
yes,
that's what happened to Jake Cummings. I think that was Jake Cummings he hit right there.
yep, that was Jay Cummings who he hit. So unfortunately, with a 10-second penalty right now, Alif would be sitting right now in 13th. So it looks like Alif is on. I think he's fighting against time now. He knows he has to get a big lead. I mean, he did have a big lead. He won by 10 seconds before, so can he do it again? But right now, Bradley Skinker in front of him, impeding on his progress to the front. Team orders. Do you think he's gonna let him by here?
Well, it depends on how on if they think that penalty is gonna matter for Alif. I want to give a huge shout out right now because Alif's made his way through the field, driven up right up there. Huge shout out to Cohen Evans, who's currently running second in this race, interrupting the Ball State train in the top 4, doing what Jake Cummings was last race around. He's having a great race up here in second.
Exactly right. And never forget Jake Cummings, as right now we got Cohen Evans here, the last thing stopping from a Ball State podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna get we're getting Lucas Moody up the elevator into the booth here, getting ready for an interview from him once he gets up here for us. We're on board with Nicholas Daly right now, still in behind Halterman and Burrell. Halterman's just made the move on Burrell to move up to 10th. But while we're doing this, we are gonna get Lucas Moody in the booth for an interview. Lucas Moody out on lap 1 in that big accident. Hey Lucas, how's it going?
Yeah, not feeling the best at the moment, but you know, racing, it is what it is. Sometimes you get taken out, things that are completely out of your control, and I mean, it happens to the best, happens to everybody really.
They saw a really, really big shunt into that wall there. Are you good?
Yeah, I think luckily this is online. I think my sim racer was probably a little shook. My left on my camera. I think
Shook
my
the
guy's
rig.
a little messed up.
Yeah, Lucas Moody, I was gonna say, man, your
I'm doing
wrist.
okay, luckily.
Your wrist is good?
Yeah, luckily, I have a pretty low nanometer, I think is what it's called, a wheel here. I'm not on like
Yes,
some,
nanometer.
15. I think I'm on like 8. I'm not on something crazy. So luckily my wrist survived these incidents pretty well.
Well, luckily you didn't pull a Daniel Ricciardo and broke your wrist, and then you would have to take a quick break, and someone else would have replaced you in that seat at Ball State University, and it would have been a big drama. So luckily for you, you got away scathe-free. Unfortunately, yes, you did get taken out there, but a strong Heat 1 race, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like Lando Norris, I'm gonna be honest. I qualified second, stayed second the entire time, and I mean, Alif, freaking Verstappen just effed off in the distance, you know, Verstappen does, but...
Well,
you know,
you did hear your
drove a great
teammate
race.
got a 10-second penalty.
I did, yeah. So, at our Ball State practices, I'm gonna be honest a bit here, we like to race really aggressively with each other. And I think he forgot that he was racing with not his teammate, so I saw him send it 3 wide in the first corner. A little bit of a sloppy mistake there from Alif, rarely happens, but, you know, everyone makes mistakes. Got 10 seconds, but I'm sure he'll pull a 10-second gap to the car behind most likely, so.
Probably, but... Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, we just saw him get by Bradley Skinker there for 3rd, so he's moving into the podium positions. He's trying to get that spot. He's currently stuck behind Cale Davidson and Cohen Evans.
Yeah, I hope Cale gets this win. I think he deserves it. His last one was Homestead. I'm hoping for it. I'm really pulling for Cale here because he had a lot of pace.
I like to put money on that too. It'll be interesting to see because Alif did win by a 10-second at the end of the last race, but obviously it is now 8 out of 25, and Alif's run through here has been bringing. It looks like Jake Cummings and P13, so it looks like he is doing a comeback here. So he's coming back through the field. So Lucas Moody, any last thing before we let you go?
Yeah, I would like to. I believe Alif has a bit of wing damage, so it's probably slowing him down a bit. Yeah, I don't think the broadcast doesn't show it, but I was able to catch it when I watched the replay back. But Elite does have a little bit of yeah, wind. But yeah, I guess I'd like to thank you guys for bringing me up here. Thanks to the production crew, your hard work, and go Kale, get this win for Ball State.
Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, as we get a lockup here
Oh shoot!
with Nicholas Daly and Alexander Diamond
Jake,
gets loose
oh.
there. Oh, wow. Thank you,
Bye,
Lucas.
guys. Thank you
Take
for your
care.
time.
As mid-interview, we got a big shakeup here as it looks like Jake Cummings moving up to 12th. That, it's a really great transition there. As it looks like Alexander Diamond is really pulling in on Clay Halterman. But the story tonight, I mean, fellas, we gotta look out. Jake Cummings, he looked like he got wrecked out. Went down to nearly 18th, and now he's in 12th. I mean, what a drive.
We saw a lot happen while that interview was going on. We saw Clint Halterman move his way up to 8th on the standings, passing Diamond, Lamar, a couple other cars. We saw Robert Kizio retire from the race with that damage he sustained on lap 1. We also saw Andrew Burrell and Alan Hogg both pull it off track and into the pits. So a lot of attrition already in this heat race. We've only got 15 cars left, and it's only lap 9.
It's just getting spicier and spicier right now. Cale Davidson, your leader, with 2 seconds in front of Coben Evans, and just hunting behind. Cue the Jaws music, a leaf. So right now we are on board with Cale Davidson with a nice minute 20. So he is not pushing that much really. With these lap times right now, he's actually going pretty well. Good pace here, but it's only so much as right now, as we see Cohen Evans from Indiana University, IUPUI. It's making a late move here. Not late move, I should say, but it is very much the opposite as Muhammad Alif with the minute and 7. I mean, this man is on a mission. He knows that 10-second penalty, and from inside information by yours truly, Lucas Moody, he has wing damage, so he's definitely having issues with the straights. But looks like maybe the technicals, the corners here through sectors 1 and 2, he's gaining up time. As right now, less than 7/10 here behind Cohen Evans. Cohen Evans, defend with your life, bro. As we're gonna see how long he'll last there. As we're on board here with Clay Halterman, battling it out with Jason Wallet, and it looks like Jason Wallet is just trying to hold on to 7th. And Clay Halterman, it looks like he's having a better pace in sector 1. He was quicker.
Yeah, Clint Halterman on the bumper of Jason Wallet for that 7th position, and he's got Wallet's teammate Alexander Diamond not too far behind him. They're running 9th, so Halterman kind of in between the two Drexel cars here. As here's the pass for 10th. Nicholas Daly up the inside of Aiken Lamar for 10th. He's going to try and fight it back, and he's going to spin the car around.
He's going to spin it around.
Aiken Lamar is around from 10th. And he is going to drop a lot of spots. He falls behind Jake Cummings. He falls behind Robert Patinella. And he's going to find his position, or find his footing in 13th there in between Patinella and Zach Lindler. Here's our Muhammad Ali for the pass going on Cohen Evans there. And he makes it happen for 2nd. So Cohen Evans back to 3rd. Our Muhammad Ali charging into 2nd, but he does have that 10-second time penalty. The only concern is the car that's leading this race that he's going to have to get 10 seconds ahead of for that penalty is his teammate, Cale Davidson. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out here coming to the end of this race.
As right now, team orders, so from Ball State University to Drexel University, as Alexander Diamond is hunting down Jason Wallet. What is the team orders right now? So Clay Halterman passed Jason Wallet, because Jason Wallet seems like he is falling off a little bit behind. But in terms of behind right now, Alexander Diamond just breathing down. I mean, if you're Alexander Diamond, what would you do, Sky?
Gotta go and get him. Nope.
Hunter has team.
Everybody makes it out intact.
But it looks like Hunter Hennessy is gonna be passed by Nicholas Daly probably. But looks like Alexander Diamond is on the prowl here behind Jason Wallet. As look who's behind. Jake Cummings in 11th place, as he loves to see these two battling it out. He's hoping that these two will get into each other. As right now they're in the heavy braking zone into the hairpin, but looks like Jake Cummings, he's gonna try and seize the opportunity. He's gonna sit behind here, behind Hunter, but will he take advantage here? Oh, as we see the little purple flashing, he is not using overtake right now. He is solely on the slipstream. Can he do anything here as he's going to peek through the outside here? As looked like Hunter is going to do the same thing, but looks like late onto the braking, Nicholas Daly is going to squeeze through and keep his 9th place. As right now, Halterman. Oh, looks like Jason Wallet's making the pass through turns 2-3, but it looks like Halterman is going to not say not today.
And here's
he
Diamond.
stays on him.
Diamond's up the inside of Wallet right there, but he's going to back out, give Wallet the position. This is going to be a really interesting battle here with Wallet and Diamond, because right now Diamond is in position. He's in 8th place. He's in position to get 4 points for this race, which would be huge because he has 2 points all season. Jason Wallet's a student from this school, so he's running in the student standings, while Alexander Diamond is in the alumni standings. In the overall standings, though, I mean, Wallet is 42 points this season. Diamond is 2. So this is going to be a really big chance for him to try and even the playing field a little bit with his teammate.
Yeah. Alexander Diamond is right now in the alumni lead, so as many points as he can get is really essential and critical. So right now, Alexander Diamond knows if he can make a pass here, he can get more points and extend his alumni lead.
Yeah,
so
Halterman's the alumni lead right now, I believe. He's 1 second behind him.
Yep, and it looks like Jay Cummings is in 10th place. He got past Hunter. And so it is the battle of the alumni. Jay Cummings making the pass on Hunter right now, as Jake knows, as an alumni as well, he knows that the points are matters. And right now, sitting in 10th, what an amazing recovery from being spun out to being in 10th. It's a little bit locked up there by Nicholas Daly. Oh, but he got a little bit close there as Alexander Diamond also got close.
Alexander Diamond's on the bumper of Jason Wallet, still with a bit of a train behind him. You see Nick Daly there in 9th, Jake Cummings there in 10th. Everybody kind of following each other around in the slipstream pack here with these long straightaways. It makes it really easy to just kind of tuck in, follow another car, and try to use that slipstream to get yourself an advantage to make a pass later on in this race. Jake Cummings there through the chicane. He's got 3 cars in front of him, so he's going to have a lot of work to do to try and make his way back through the field, but he's got 12 more laps to do it as we're about halfway through this race. And here's a big send. Oh, and he's into the back of Diamond, and he's also into Nick Daly. 2 cars taken out by Jake Cummings there. Diamond's going to get away with damage, but Nick Daly is missing the entire front wing, and it looks like he might end up dropping behind Hunter Hadesty there for a 10th as well.
Oh, boys, that's not how you want to enter the hairpin in turns 12.
There's the move for
like...
Hadesty. He's actually going to go for both. Ooh!
Oh.
And Jake Cummings spins out. Cummings tries to cut off Hunter Hadesty, and he whips it around. So he, not only does he have no wing, but he's all the way out of the top 10. And now Hadesty has to try and make this pass on Nick Daly again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Jake was doing there, buddy, but I mean, no news, no front wing, no front downforce, and he tried to stay in front of them there in turns 13, 14, but clearly the car was too slow, and he got hit in front of the nose of Nicholas Daly. He just spun it around, but I mean, you had no turn, you have no power right there, so it was a tough break there. As right now, Athena Leclerc hunting down Bradley Skinker as a Leaf. Only a 2nd and 4 behind Cale Davidson. Cale Davidson knows. He knows this is the opportunity he has. As long as a Leaf, if he does pass him, Cale Davidson just has to keep under 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, I mean, Cale Davidson, he's not going to be too worried, I don't think, with the actual pass once the Leaf gets up to him. But he needs to keep him within 10 seconds. Here's Athena Leclerc of St. Clair College. She is right behind Bradley Skinker of Ball State. For this 4th position would be another really good finish for her. It's a bit of a home race. St. Clair, probably, I believe, the only Canadian school on the grid this race in Montreal. It's a pretty far distance across Canada, but it's the same country north of the border, so maybe some home race superpowers for her as she's having a great race right now.
Yeah, for her to get top 5 in a row, I mean, her points are just exploding. And so as long as she has it clean here in 5th and potentially a 4th place, passing Bradley Skinker, it would have been even a career best finish here for 4th place. So St. Clair College, y'all should be proud of her, as she is having the drive of her life right now.
Yeah, still in 5th there. Actually making some good pace on Bradley Skinker. I think we saw she had 6 points coming into this race. She got 10 in the first race, and now she's trying to get another 10 here. So that would take her from 6 points all the way up to 26 points in this series. So a great race for her today.
Yeah, as Aiken Lamar looks like he is trying to hunt down Nicholas Penella. It looks like Penella just spun. I don't know why. What did I do? I swear I did not do anything, as Nicholas Bentinella is just gonna swing it around and he's gonna go back on the track and go on as if nothing went wrong there. But easy pass for Lamar, as right now he is chasing behind Jake Cummings, who is in 11th, with no front nose. Jake has
Jake
not
Cummings,
made it
yeah.
yet. He
He's
just
trying to
keeps on
limp
coming.
that thing around. I mean, maybe he should have pit, but he's trying to limp it around and keep it going. I don't really think he's going to be able to get any points out of it, though. I mean, you see him in 11th here.
I
He's
mean, unless
12
they all
seconds
wreck that up
back of
front.
Hunter Hadesty in the last points position, and Aiken Lamar in 12th is rapidly catching up to him, especially down these big, long straightaways that this track has. That car is really, really struggling without that front downforce, and it's just going to send Jake Cummings further and further back through the field here.
And one thing is to say to what you say is the fact that, yeah, I mean, Jake Cummings' day looks like it's over, but you never know, right? Guys up front, they're all fighting close, and they might just wreck each other out.
We saw that happen with Halterman last time. Halterman and Kisiel made contact, spun both of them off, and that opened up 2 extra points positions. Maybe could happen to him. Here's our Muhammad Ali for the race lead on Cale Davidson. Now, he does have a 10-second time penalty. So once Alif makes his way through here, Cale Davidson just has to keep him within 10 seconds to get his 2nd win of the season here. But Alif is there, he is looking, and Cale Davidson, his teammate, is going to try his absolute best to block. As we go from one Ball State battle to a second, it's Athena Leclerc of St. Clair, still on the back bumper of Bradley Skinker. She's been back there for several laps now, but just hasn't been able to get the move going. She's going to continue to try and fight the Ball State car to try and interrupt the Ball State top 4.
No, go ahead.
Here's the Leaf again. Still in 2nd there. Cohen Evans is kind of the car that's interrupting this train. 3rd, interrupting the Ball State podium, and actually pulling away pretty well from Bradley Skinker. Our Muhammad Ali, he hasn't been able to get around him, and as these laps tick down, we're about to hit lap 18 of projected 25 in this race. It's going to be interesting to see if our Muhammad Ali, how long it takes for him to get past, and if he's going to be able to actually pull out the 10 seconds he needs on Cale Davidson, as we saw a bit of a spin from Jason Wallet to drop him down the order. He was in 7th, he's now running 10th.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Cale Davidson is picking up the pace. I think he was saving his tires, waiting for Leaf to come up, and once he did, it's like saying, all right, it's go time. 7 laps left. Let's use this tire. As right now, Leclerc is just pouncing again, but once again, Alif just getting ever so close here. He touched the wall a little bit, but it's that dirty area. He's gonna look into the inside here, but he doesn't. Oh, but he does. This looks like, oh, team orders. I don't know about team orders, because Cale Davidson looked like he went wide there, thinking that Alif was gonna probably lock up and go inside of him. But I mean, if I was Cale Davidson, I would not be too happy if that was not on purpose. But 10 seconds. Right, Sky? So what would you do as Cale Davidson right now that you let him by?
I mean, I just try to run the best laps I can. Alif's going to have an uninterrupted run. There's not even really a lap car in front of him. Klingensmith is a whole straightaway away. So that's going to make this really, really interesting here. See if Cale Davidson can keep this within 10 seconds. I mean, he's doing pretty good so far, especially with the slipstream. He's on the overtake right now. That's going to close the gap down the straightaways. But with that front wing damage for our Muhammad Ali, is he going to be able to pull out the 10 seconds he needs to get away from Cale Davidson?
You're absolutely right. And as we saw, Cale Davidson had almost 140 seconds. Look right now, Athena Leclerc. She's going to look into the inside here. Oh, but they nearly made contact. Oh, no! Save it! Oh, what a beautiful save. Come on! Get it rolling. As right now, Athena Leclerc just had a save of the century. Looks like Bradley Skinker did not let her by with ease, as Athena Leclerc nearly made contact, but saved it. Yeah, as those tires locking up, it's definitely flat spots on those right rears, on those everywhere, really. All those tires locked up. But what a save for St. Clair College to keep it rolling for 5th place. But right behind her, Clint Halterman right now in 6th. He can smell top 5 right now with 6 laps to go.
He's looking. He's 0.6 back, and he's rapidly closing that gap to Athena Leclerc there in 5th to try and make this move happen. Pulled all the way away, 7.8 from Andrew Diamond, or Alexander Diamond behind him. So he doesn't have any threats to worry about from behind, and he can focus all his attention on this battle with 5th place Athena Leclerc.
As we saw a little bit of oversteering from Clint Halterman right there as he's just trying his hardest to stay on her. But one thing to note right now, not that the leader just took here, now it's going to be 6 laps, or I believe. Yeah, so right now, Leaf has a 1.5 but something to note, right? Yes, now we got 6 laps left. If it took him a 1.5 for 3 laps, and for 6 laps left, I mean, I think Kel Davidson got it in the bag.
Yeah, let's see how this plays out here. Yeah, Clint Halterman P6. Kel Davidson P2. He's dropped 2 seconds back. It's kind of right on the cusp right now of if Leaf is going to actually be able to pull out the time. Not sure if he's going to be able to, but he's really looking there on Muhammad Alif in that first position. He's our race leader, but with a 10-second penalty, he's technically second right now behind his teammate, Cale Davidson, who is really looking to try and keep him within 10 seconds and try to get his 2nd win of the season. But it would still be an overall school win for Ball State. Breaking up the Ball State dominance, it's Cohen Evans from Indiana Purdue, who's having a great run here in 3rd position, making a great day for himself. Bradley Skinker, the other Ball State car in the field, is 4th, having another good day for that school to get that school even more points. And Athena Leclerc from St. Clair, under threat from Clint Halterman, but currently getting some really good points in 5th.
That's Clint Halterman. I'll pick it up here. So UNC Charlotte, really good, hopefully finish here, as the first race kind of fell flat for Clint Halterman being taken out. So it is going to be a really good comeback for UNC Charlotte here to finish off, to have a car finish. As we focus on Alexander Diamond, Drexel University in 7th place. You don't see him often in the top 10, so Alexander Diamond having a really good drive, narrowly avoiding the championship wall, the wall of champions, I should say. And fall behind him is Nicholas Daly from University of Texas at Arlington. Right now, having also a good drive in 8th place. You don't see him often up here, so really good drive for him. And up next is Hunter Haidacy, Clemson University, top 10.
Hunter Haidacy there in 9th. Right there, 3 seconds back from Nick Bailey of UTA. And Jason Wallet of Drexel, trying to recover from that spin he had a little earlier, is currently sitting in 10th position, 12 seconds ahead of Aiken Lamar. So not an immediate threat for a points position, but, you know, if something happens in front of him, Aiken Lamar could try and get a spot up there. As we're back on board with Clint Halterman as he continues this battle with Athena Leclerc.
Yeah, nearly less than a second right there, as last time around in the hairpin, Clint Halterman was a 1.5 behind. Now, half a second. Gained a second in that last lap, but right now you see purple lights flashing on his dashboard. No overtake for him right now, so unfortunately cannot close the gap as and looks like Clint Halterman around, but he kind of saved it. Didn't look like he hit the wall too hard. All 4 tires seems like they all straightforward, as right now Clint Halterman sees behind Alexander Diamond, Nicholas Daly. They see the potential for another. That's for the alumni like right now. So alumni lead is under pressure. As Clint Halterman under pressure right now, as Alexander Diamond can see the alumni lead right now, right in front of him, and right behind him, Nicholas Daly. So the fight just got on with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, big battles here. Alexander Diamond of Drexel, still in the bumper of Clint Halterman, try and get that position after that big crash there from Clint Halterman. He dropped 9 seconds back, and it put him right in the grasps of Diamond and Daly for a couple extra points here in that 6th position. It would be a really big story if Diamond could get those points. He's had a great day. He's gonna like quadruple his season point total, and if he's able to get around Halterman here, he would be able to get the alumni win for the race as well, which would be a really big one for him.
Yeah, and the alumni battle is just getting on right now, as these 3 fellas, they know what's on. They know what's on the line right now. As right now on board with Alexander Diamond right now, not using his push overtake with 3 laps to go. But up front, Clint Halterman right now looks like he is recharging. He doesn't have overtake on right now, so he's currently recharging. As right now, as they go through, Clint Halterman knows he cannot take those curves. Those curves are what kills you.
Yeah, Alexander Diamond's on the bump, or on the back of Clint Halterman, but he's falling back. He's lost about half a second there, and he's falling closer into the grasp of Nicholas Daly from UTA. They're in 8th, which is going to make this a pretty good fight to the finish with 3 laps to go. And if you look at the lead, Alif is not pulling away like we thought he might. He is still only about 4 seconds, 3.7 ahead of his teammate Cale Davidson with only 3 laps to go and coming to 2 laps to go as he takes it to the line this time. I think Cale Davidson's going to win this race. Here's the move for 7th. It's Nicholas Daly looking on Alexander Diamond, but he's going to back out before they actually get to the chicane. He's not able to get it done.
Oh, and look at that. So one thing we have to note is that push overtake, once you're out of it, you got a red flashing light, which means you are out. And as you saw, he was right on the gearbox of Alexander Diamond. So we thought he was going to make the move right there. But the reason why he didn't get enough, like he didn't have that last minute push to go to the inside, he ran out of push overtake. So a consequential moment right there, championship implications, as looks like Nicholas Daly just wasn't able to make the pass in time as he ran out of juice. But looks like he might not need the juice, as right now he had a perfect turn 13, 14, as he's just going to use as much as he has. He's going to look on the inside here of Alexander Diamond going to turn 1. It looks like he's going to be able to make the pass. No, as Alexander Diamond says, not yet. Going to turn 3, they're still side by side here. It looks like Nicholas Daly taking the wide here. This still goes side by side. Going into turn 4, and it looks like Nicholas Daly is going to make the pass for 7th, but looks like Alexander Diamond, he still has pushed to overtake, so it's not over yet with 2 laps to go.
Here's our Muhammad Alif. Here's our race leader. 5-second gap to Cale Davidson, but Cale Davidson is not, or 5-second gap to Cale Davidson, but he's got a 10-second time penalty. So that gap, as long as Cale Davidson doesn't lose 5 seconds over this white flag lap, he's going to be able to get the win of the race over his teammate, Muhammad Alif.
Never say never. I will tell you that right now. As Cale Davidson, he may not know. As right now, oh yes, white flag. So one more time around here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Muhammad Alif, he's just pushing it, man. He is going at it strong. He really wants it. He's trying his hardest. And I'm just telling him, brother, do not spin the car. You got 2nd place at least. But I know he ain't listening. He knows he wants to win. As right now, 5 seconds and a half as the leader. We're going to stay on board here. As right now, Alif to turns 8 and 9. Down to the back here through 10 and then out in the heavy braking zone here. Down through 10, out into 11. Could this be? Unfortunately, he will be passing first, but unofficially he won't be first. As rounding out through turn 12, we'll take it to right-hander here, 12, as he's out of overtake. He just barely 6 seconds in front, but it won't be enough. As right now going to turn 13 and 14, as unofficially right now, Muhammad Alif is gonna take first here at the Canadian Grand Prix. But with that 10-second penalty right now, he is not the true leader. Folks, the true leader right now, Cale Davidson, as he's gonna go through the line, and it's gonna be officially first place for Cale Davidson for Collegiate University. Let's go, Cale Davidson, for that win. And behind him, Cohen Evans, officially gonna be 3rd place for IUPUI, going through Cohen Evans, breaking up the Ball State 1-2-3. It's gonna be a 3rd place podium finish for Cohen Evans.
Bradley Skager is going to pull it across 4th here as well, rounding out the 3 Ball State cars that are actually going to finish this race right here. Athena Leclerc held off Clint Halterman after the spin to get another 5th place position. Great result for her. Clint Halterman's going to finish 6th right behind, and a big comeback mounted by Nicholas Daly of UTA is going to get him 7th place here as well. Alexander Diamond finished right behind him to take 8th. Hunter Hadesty will come around to grab 9th, and Jason Wallet will round out the points, 10th place for Drexel University.
Really
Aiken Lamar is going to come through next. He'll get 11th, followed by Jake Cummings, followed by Nicholas
Jake's
Patnell.
still running.
13 finishers for this race. 10 of them will get points.
Yeah, it looks like Aiken Lamar, unfortunately, will be the one out of the points. And as we see, really a great drive by Drexel University. Both Alexander Diamond and Jason Wallet having a top 10 finish. So that's a strong finish for them. As right now, unfortunately, the predictions was wrong. Alif did not win for tonight, but it's still a Ball State winner. Cale Davidson, for the 2nd time this series, our 1st place. I mean, did you see this happening, Sky?
I did call it. I did call it. Second,
did.
second, right before the second stint, you asked me what I was looking for. I was looking for Cale Davidson to get on the front row, and I was looking for him to ditch Muhammad Alif, and that is what he did. We also have a 10-second time penalty post-race for Jake Cummings for that incident in the hairpin, but he finished 12th, and I believe that's only going to dock him to 13th. So our top three for tonight will be uh, Muhammad Alif, Cale Davidson, and Cohen Evans. We're going to get them in the booth, along with our alumni winner for the race, Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte. Fourth place, Bradley Skinker. Fifth place, Athena Leclerc. Seventh place, Nicholas Daly from UTA. Eighth place, Alexander Diamond. Ninth place, Hunter Hadesty. And rounding out our 10th place points positions for tonight, Jason Wallet.
To follow out is going to be Aiken Alomar from Howard Community College for 11th. Jake Cummings, as we heard, a 10-second penalty. So Nicholas Petnella is actually going to be promoted up into P12, and Jake Cummings be relegated P13th. So Petnella, Robert Morris University, saw P12. Zach Whitmer is going to be Lenore Ryan University for P14. But unfortunately, if one of the first cars to be out in the pits, Tyler Klingsmith in 15th. Timothy Williams, 16th. Andrew Burrow, 17th place. Alan Hong, 18th place. And Robert Kissel Jr., 19th. Mark Turek, 20th. And that is our top 20. Our next three, Lucas Moody, who unfortunately was taken out at the beginning of the race by a dive bomb, unfortunately, by Adrian Tubakovic, who is also going to be finishing right after him in 22nd. And last but not least, Austin DeLong in 23rd place. I mean, what a race, Sky. Tell me, how did you feel seeing all this action, seeing the impossible become the possible?
Yeah, that was a really exciting race, and it's really nice that we're going to see a bit of a shakeup from, the usual Alif, Davidson, Moody that we tend to get on the top three in these races. I mean, Alif, second place in the second sprint race, and Ball State didn't fulfill the podium in any of them. Cohen Evans broke him up in that second sprint race, bringing it home third, and Jake Cummings managed to get third in the first sprint race. So both sprint races someone broke up the Ball State 1, 2, 3, 4, which is really exciting and hopefully something that'll continue to future races of this series.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like Cohen Evans and Jay Cummings, looks like they got the mid-season upgrades, you can say, right? Looks like their colleges bought a really strong car to fight against Ball State University. So looks like the mid-season upgrades are working. Right now, let's wait for a leaf to go into the
Yeah,
booth.
we're getting some people here up for the booth right now. We're getting them up the elevator, getting this getting the interviews ready, getting them prepared. Really good race tonight. I mean, we knew Montreal was going to be hectic, but we saw about I think we started with 23 cars in the second sprint race, and we saw 10 of them crash out by the end of it. So a very hectic, very chaotic race, but a very exciting one as well tonight.
Yeah, and our alumni winner, which was Clint Halterman. So congrats to Clint Halterman for fending off after that little squirrel out of turn 14. That is definitely a really strong drive to really pick up that alumni winner and to really fend off there against the other alumni drivers. So I mean, yeah, as you said, Montreal, it is a really tight pack racing. Lots of really heavy braking zones and a lot of places to wreck. So it is, as they say, uh, the most intense racing there is here in iRacing for college racing. Because where else are you gonna get better racing than this? Come on. So you better hit that subscribe button here in the CIL. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button because there's gonna be way more actions. Right now, we got the booth, we got the drivers in the booth ready to join us. Let's make P3 come up with us. So that's gonna be Colin Evans. Colin Evans, good evening and welcome to the booth. I mean, how does it feel to interrupt Ball State University with that fantastic third place?
I don't know. It feels pretty good. Indianapolis 1, 2, 3 feels pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, what a strong drive there in that heat too. I mean, just trying to hold on to second, and a lead coming up there to defend. So a great drive. Sky, you got a question?
I mean, we saw breaking up the Ball State 1-2-3 dominance there. It's a very good drive for you. What was kind of the toughest part of going out there on this track and trying to get that position for yourself?
The walls and the giant curbs were pretty tough. I struggled a lot with them in race 1. I had a couple spins. Think I tapped the wall once. So in race 2, I decided, just keep it clean, no issues, and got myself a podium.
I mean, kept it clean. You did, and very strong, really strong race here, and it's a P3, so it's gonna look really good for the points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, looks like this guy. If you don't got any more questions, any shout outs you want to give out for tonight, Cohen?
Shout out my brother. He had a fantastic season debut pitching for baseball. So good job, him.
Congrats to your brother. Anything else?
No, not for me.
All right. Well, thank you, Cohen Evans, for joining us in the booth. Congrats on the P3. Congrats on interrupting the Ball State podcast, and we'll see you hopefully soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming into the booth here, our second place finisher for tonight. Our first place finisher for tonight, Ball State's Cale Davidson. With that 10-second time penalty to R. Muhammad Alif, you got your second win of the season. How does it feel to get that done?
Maybe not the way we expected us to get it done, but nevertheless, I'm not going to deny taking it.
Well, Kale, I was gonna say, welcome back. I mean, second TIL Formula College race win. I mean, it was a matter of time you were going to come back here, but for tonight, I mean, that 10-second penalty that we heard Alif got and a little bit of rear wing damage. What was it like when you heard that news? Like, what did it feel like knowing I'm in starting first? Well, you got first, you started second. How did it feel when you were like starting out the race, knowing you had a good shot to win this?
Yeah, so obviously I wasn't was pretty big not like her that rear wing damage because that destroyed me the first race. So luckily when I heard Elite had damage, it wasn't to the extent that mine was because I was struggling terribly that first race. But I guess I got
Sorry, can I interrupt you for a little bit?
Yeah.
We hear a lot of bit of a background. Could you like try to put your mic closer to your mouth so we can hear you?
I can try. Our
that's better.
team is going against Kent State right now.
Just yell
so-
at Lucas or whoever's back there.
Well, no, that's not Lucas. It's our casters since we're doing a broadcast for League of Legends right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, everything crashed. You want me to try to get it back up? Here. Oh, but yeah. So that first race,
Yeah.
I had a bunch of damage. Just got loose. Had good pace, and then got loose coming off of the last corner, hit the curb, and just went straight into the wall. And then with that invert, I definitely thought I was gonna get like 9th or 10th because I was sitting in dead last. But going to the line, Hunter stopped on the line so he could grab that pole position, which is something I've never seen before. But I guess it works.
Yeah, we were scratching our heads up here in the booth. I was talking to this guy, and we were like thinking, well, is that legal on the final lap?
I don't know. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, the second race, the goal was just use the pace I have, try to get outside stake and go in the first race and which way.
Of course. I mean, yes, you were still in a pole position for the second heat, but you did start front row, and you were able to capitalize in turn 1 and 2, and you got first place quickly. So an amazing drive that you had. Sky, you got a question?
Yeah, what was kind of the toughest part? We saw a lot of cars crash out. It was very much a race of attrition. What was the toughest part you thought of going around this racetrack?
The whole track. So Bradley and I think over the past 2 days just Snapchatted each other and didn't even correlate to anything. All it was I hate Montreal and just like I can't do a lap without crashing. And
I can relate.
Was the only day that we actually got like laps in without bending it like after 2 laps. So I'd say the whole track is definitely the most challenging, but I'd say if I have to pick a corner out of that, it's definitely the last corner, just because the people really messing up, and I was a victim of that.
M4, I mean, listen, man, Montreal got hands. It got, I mean, I witnessed it firsthand in the Cup race on Monday. Definitely lost a few corners here and there, so I understand how tough it is. So congratulations on the win. Definitely proved yourself out there, and you want to give a shout out?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all my teammates, Bradley, Lucas, and Elite, and then our esports director, Dan Marino, and then BK. And then a shout out to my grandma and grandpas, and then also shout out to Indy Hood Rats for sponsoring the car. And can't forget my mom and dad.
Well, congratulations, buddy. Second race win for the CIL College Series. Soak it all in, celebrate as we'll see if we can get you a three-peat next week.
We'll try.
Well, that was our student race winner, Kale Davidson, a second win. And we're going to bring up a leaf here for the second place. So as we saw for the viewers, Alif did cross the line first. However, did had a 10-second penalty, which officially puts him at second place. Muhammad Alif, welcome to the booth. Again, obviously, I'll see you next week again, I guess. But man, what a drive today. Unfortunately, that 10-second penalty, but you were pushing it hard. You got yourself 6 seconds in front of the leader. Well, in front of the leader, really, that was Cale Davidson. So talk to me through, like, what was it for that second race? Like, how much were you, like, running through the field, knowing you had a little bit of rear wing damage, knowing that you were 10 seconds of deficit, like, and pushing on those final laps? I saw you were just handling that car crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of front wing damage, which slowed us down throughout the yeah yeah
If you ain't first,
first year.
you're
So I'm
last.
last.
Ricky
So yeah,
Bobby.
I'm actually last.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was just pushing really hard to catch this guy. Not Ricky, the one holding it.
Yeah?
uh, yeah, it was a good fight. But I think once we knew that there was a 10-second penalty, I think Kill decided to release me because Cohen was still in P3 within the 10 seconds. And then after that, I was just pushing every lap, sending it almost putting it in the wall, just risking everything. But yeah, at least we got the 1-2 again.
Oh, he hit
And
it the gritty.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
He just hit the gritty on you.
I know.
Uh, but what a drive. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it was difficult, especially with that rear wing damage that, like, the straight line speed was impeding you. Sky.
Yeah, I've been asking. We saw a lot of cars out of the race. We saw a lot of attrition in this race. What do you think was the toughest part of the track tonight?
I think it's just managing the balance of the car. Like I think the setup of this car is pretty oversteery for Montreal, but I think because I had the front wing damage, it took away a bit of the oversteery. So I had
Oh,
to manhandle the car a bit more just to get the nose turned in. So it was different set of challenges, obviously, but I think a lot of it is just like managing the mid speed corner. Like the last chicane, I gained a ton of time. I think on everyone. Just
yeah.
because I was able to be more committed into the braking zone on the apex and um, out of the corner. So I guess I was just able to risk it a bit more, which was probably where people weren't able to capitalize, just taking that risk. So also turn one was pretty tricky, and there was a tailwind in the middle sector of the track, so that made a lot of the corners in particular pretty tricky, especially the hairpin. So yeah, I think all this kind of played a part. Setup, wind, very windy. So yeah.
10-4. I mean, it was definitely a tricky track with the tricky car. And I mean, from what you just said, you're telling me getting wrecked was the best thing could happen to you?
Uh, I don't know. It made the race exciting for me, to be honest. So the pace deficit wasn't, or the pace advantage wasn't as huge because of the damage. So it made me like really push myself and work for it. So uh, even though we missed out, I still felt like I enjoyed that race. Just to be able to drive on that knife edge of the car, risk it into turn one, the whole lap, over and over again, and then at the end just try to take the fastest lap away. So it was good fun, good challenge, obviously with these cars around this track. Great track. It's one of my favorites. So yeah.
And for buddy, well, any shout out to anybody out there?
Yeah, definitely. To all my Ball State teammates, Kale, Bradley, and Lucas, our Oval team, as well. There is a broadcast going on right now, so it's like a league game against Kent State, I guess. So whole esports program, Dan Marino, BK, our esports directors, and my sponsors, Motorsport Singapore, Team Singapore, Next Level Racing, Ray Hall, Letterman Lanigan Racing as well for their scholarship, and yeah, Ball State Esports.
Woo. Well, congratulations on that second place. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place, right?
I don't know about I'll be on spring break, so
Okay. Time
yeah,
for.
yeah,
Oh man, a break? No, that's not. That can't be. Got to be consistent, man. Well,
I know.
take it, man. Take the
Thank you,
break, man. Yeah, take a nice break.
thank you very much. See you guys.
And that was our second place, Sky. I mean, should he take a longer break? What do you think?
I think we got enough drop weeks. We can do it every once. I got spring break coming up too. I'm probably.
He has enough points to cover himself. I agree with that. All right, so roundabout, our final is our alumni winner, Clay Halterman. He's going to be joining the booth. Clay Halterman, welcome to the booth. You are tonight's alumni winner for round 8 here at the Montreal Canadian Grand Prix. Well, I mean, what a drive. That last race, I mean, first race was unfortunate. We saw that contact you had there going into turns 13, 14. But this race, same song, different verse. You did spun out there at the end. But talk to us. Like, how was it that you spun the car and yet you still kept it in front of those guys?
I don't know. I had a decent gap there. I did the whole second race with just a bit of damage. I was a little bit left hand down, so yeah, but it wasn't enough to really affect anything. But yeah, I had a little bit of a gap there. A lot bigger gap than I thought I had because I spun out and I thought I was gonna get hit pretty much immediately because I thought there was cars right behind me. But yeah, got to spun back around. Uh, Tires were scorching hot at that point, so I was like just slipping and sliding through the next couple corners, trying to not spin out again. Um, but yeah, it was nice to have a slightly better second race, or I guess a much better second race. The first race would have been a lot better if I wasn't just dumb and kept spun out. I think I did two self spins there, and then eventually got in that incident there that wiped me out. So yeah, I probably have a lot more points if I've had a lot of just dumb spins in this series this year, and I probably would be a little bit higher up in the standings if I just didn't do that. So, but nice to have a. I think I started 19th, finished 6th, so it was nice to pass a lot of people tonight. So.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up, man, because you had a strong drive there and you were the alumni winner for tonight. Sky, got a question.
I mean, we saw a big race of attrition. I mean, you mentioned yourself, you spun twice. We saw a lot of cars all over the track tonight. I think almost half the cars didn't finish in that second heat race. What do you think was the most difficult thing about this race tonight?
Um, Man, the car just hates the curbs, I think is the big one, and this track has a lot of curbs on it, so it's hard to avoid them, which was kind of an issue during the cup race on Monday night as well. Is cup car doesn't like the curbs either, and to be fast here, if you can get away with taking the curves, mounting those curves, those will help. Make you faster throughout the track. So I think that's the big one, obviously, because I spun, but the way I spun in the second race, as I mounted that curve, trying to chase down Athena and get past her, and I mounted it, spun out. Um, my cat's making an appearance. She's very upset
Oh,
with me for some reason. Here,
cat reveal, cat reveal.
this is
Yes.
Bobby.
Oh,
She she's angry at me, I think, for talking and it's not at her, or she just wants food.
Oh. Shout out Black Cats. They're not
Yep.
bad luck.
Yep.
Got one.
The hell was it? Oh, crashes. Yeah, lots of crashes. Hard braking zones plus curbs in a car that doesn't like curves. That equals lots of crashes. So uh, that's my formula for lots of wrecks.
10-4. I mean, just as Sky put it, the attrition was crazy. A lot of drivers complaining with the setup, a lot of oversteering happening. So it was really a survival of the fittest. And clearly, you did survive here at the end. So congrats to you. And so, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Better to be your cat too.
I'll give a shout out to Bobby, but I won't give a shout out to her in about 3 hours when she wakes me up for food. And then, well, also not a shout out because I have to wake up at 5:30 for work, and she likes to wake me up at about 5 minutes before I have to wake up.
Aw.
So,
She's a good alarm.
yeah, yeah, she is. But yeah, shout out my my buddies who was talking to while I was racing, Benet and Jared and Alex. She wants to make another appearance here. Hang on. And then
She wants more shout outs.
she wants more shout outs. She needs so much attention, don't you, Bobby? Um, but yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to y'all for putting on the race.
Oh,
And yeah, that's all I got.
Sky, got one last thing.
Nope. Congrats on congrats on the alumni win.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a great race tonight for the Collegiate iRacing League and our Formula College Series, and we're gonna do. Once we get this up, we're gonna get one last look for tonight at our finishers for the race. Here we go for the results. First place will not be our Muhammad Alif. It will be Ball State's Cale Davidson with a 10-second time penalty being applied to our Muhammad Alif post-race. Second place will be our Muhammad Alif, and third place will be Indiana Purdue's Cohen Evans. Fourth place, Ball State's Bradley Skinker, and fifth place, St. Clair's Athena Leclerc. Clint Halterman from UNC Charlotte, our alumni winner tonight, finishes sixth. Nicholas Daly from UTA right behind him in seventh. Drexel's Alexander Diamond brings it home ninth, and Clemson's Hunter Hadesty will finish, or Alexander Diamond finishes eighth, and Hunter Hadesty finishes ninth. Another Drexel car, Jason Wallet, will also round out the top 10, finishing P10.
And in P11, unfortunately, out of the points, Howard Community College, Aiken Lamar, followed by Jake Cummings, Wingate University, which unofficially 12th with that 10-second penalty will relegate him to 12th and 13th. And moving up 13th is Robert Morris University's own Nicholas Panella. And also teammate Robert Morris University as well. Tyler Clinton-Smith is going to be rounding about in 14th, followed by Zach Lindler. A strong drive, unfortunately, racked out, but in 15th for Lenore Ryan University. Followed by him, Timothy Williams for Drexel University in 16th, but Drexel University did get 2 in the top 10, so a strong day for them. Followed by Clemson University's Andrew Burrow in 17th. Alan Hong, St. Clair College for 18th, but not to say at least that St. Clair College, Athena Leclerc was on fire today. 2 top 5s. Florida International University, Robert Kissel Jr., and 19th. And running about our top 20, Mark Turek from Pennsylvania College of Technology.
And then rounding out our field, 21st, Ball State's Lucas Booty, 22nd, Adrian Tubakovic of St. Clair, and 23rd, Austin DeLong from the Penn College of Technology. We got a couple more great races coming up for you in the CIL over the coming weeks. Tomorrow night, the College Prototype Series is also at Montreal for the Montreal Grand Prix, and that series, race 7 of the College Prototype Challenge. I will be on the call as well for that one, and it should be a great night of racing in those IMSA prototype cars around that track. Coming up in the Cup Series as well, we've got a race, I believe, at Las Vegas next week for the College Cup Series. The No Luck 200 presented by the Familiar Strange, March 3rd at 8:30 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And next week, we've also got a Formula C race. Formula C race. We are at Watkins Glen, I believe. My bad. Never mind. We are at Road Atlanta instead. March 6th, same time for the Petite Grand Prix at Road Atlanta. Should be a really fun one. Great race tonight, Edward.
I mean, it was an incredible race. Oh, I cannot wait to go to Watkins Glen. I mean, home track, New York.
Tune
I
into
know.
the prototype challenge 2 weeks from now. I'll
That's
be
what I'm
there.
saying. Right there, my man, Sky, you guys better go check out the broadcast tomorrow. Be there, or you'll get a fourth in your next official. Actually, no, you're gonna get DQ'd for your next Road to Pro. So if you do not want to get DQ'd from Road to Pro, stay tuned. Tune in with Sky for the CPC for the College Prototype Series tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. And if you don't want to miss it, hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell right there. Hit that notification. Be the notification squad. Come on, guys. Who wouldn't want to be in the home of the best college racing here on racing, the CIL, the Collegiate iRacing League? No other place you'll find other than here. So please hit that like button if you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more racing. As yours truly, yourself, and Sky we're gonna be driving next Monday at the Cup race. So also check out that race too. So it's gonna be full of fun in these
Watch
next few
every
weeks.
CIL race. Watch every CIL race we've ever had. They're all fun. Thank you for watching tonight's race, though. Montreal Grand Prix and the Formula College Series. It's been a really fun one, and great race tonight. Congrats to our winner, Cale Davidson from Ball State, and have a good night.